Okay, so picture this.
Okay.
A world where hailing a ride means
Yeah.
your Tesla rolls up,
Mm-hmm.
no driver in sight,
Yeah.
ready to whisk you away.
Yeah.
Sounds like sci-fi, right?
Like sci-fi, yeah.
Well, buckle up,
Okay.
because Tesla's latest moves with their Smart Summon feature
Yeah.
have us hurtling toward that autonomous future
Yeah.
faster than ever, I think.
It's really interesting.
You sent us a really cool article about it.
Yeah, it's cool stuff.
And frankly, my mind's blown.
Yeah.
Let me break this down.
It's exciting stuff.
Okay.
We're talking about Tesla using their full self-driving tech to not just get us from point A to B eventually,
Right.
but starting with something we can all wrap our heads around,
Okay.
the parking lot.
Right, Smart Summon.
Smart Summon.
But it's more than just the car
Yeah.
pulling out of a tight spot for you, right?
Way more. Think of it like this.
Okay.
Every time someone uses the Smart Summon,
Yeah.
they're basically feeding information into this massive AI brain Tesla's building.
It's like...
The car's learning to navigate obstacles,
Okay.
make decisions in real time,
Right.
and it's all happening out in the open.
So not just
In some lab.
crowdsourced AI training,
Exactly.
but with like Teslas in parking lots instead of scientists in lab coats.
Exactly. And the article highlighted some big leaps forward in the tech itself.
Yeah. What were those?
Did you see they've boosted the summon range to 100 meters?
100 meters.
That's like what length of a whole city block.
Seriously?
Yeah.
My spatial reasoning skills are questionable,
Yeah.
but that sounds impressive.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
no more parking a mile away just to use the feature.
Not anymore. But here's where it gets really interesting.
Okay.
The article mentioned that this increased range wasn't just about making the software see farther, but about teaching it to make smarter decisions
Okay.
with the information it's getting.
Right.
It's a subtle but huge difference.
Right. So less about brute force processing power,
Right.
more about elegant AI.
Exactly.
Like
Yeah.
my cat might be able to see a whole mouse from across the room,
Right.
but will he catch it?
Right.
Questionable.
And a self-driving car crashing into a shopping cart is definitely not the look Tesla's going for.
Speaking of which,
Yeah.
the article touched on how much smoother, way smoother.
Smart Summon has gotten.
Yeah.
Remember those early videos?
Right.
Cars practically doing the robot dance trying to navigate parking lots?
It was a little rough around the edges.
An understatement. But now we're talking about
Yeah.
dodging pedestrians, weaving between cars,
It's incredible.
even pulling out of those ridiculously tight parking spots.
I know. It's amazing.
Some people seem to think are a challenge,
Right.
and doing it all without looking like it's about to have a nervous breakdown.
And that's crucial
Yeah.
because it's not just about the tech working.
Right.
It's about people trusting the tech.
Right.
If we're ever going to have robo-taxis on our streets, people need to feel comfortable
Right.
seeing these cars operate
Right.
smoothly and predictably, which, let's be honest, is a pretty low bar to clear.
Right.
I've seen humans drive in parking lots.
Exactly.
And it's not always pretty.
And that's precisely why Tesla's taking a two-pronged approach.
Okay.
Improve the technology itself
While simultaneously building public confidence.
Okay. But parking lots are one thing.
Right.
How does mastering the grocery run get us any closer to this whole robo-taxi dream?
Right. Well, that's where the stepping stone thing comes in, right?
right.
This article mentioned that Tesla's actually been pretty open about their robo-taxi ambitions, even hinting at it in their latest shareholder meeting.
Hold on.
Yeah.
So they're not just making our lives easier in the parking lot. They're going for
part of
Uber.
and Lyft's whole business model.
It's a bold move.
Well, bold.
But
Yeah.
if you've been following Tesla, not entirely unexpected.
True enough.
Right.
But even with all the Smart Summon progress,
Right.
jumping from parking lot to picking me up for
Yeah.
a night out
Yeah.
in the city
It seems like a big leap.
seems like a pretty big leap.
It is.
Yeah.
But the core technology
Okay.
is surprisingly transferable.
Okay.
Think about what the car needs to do in both scenarios.
Okay.
Perceive its surroundings,
Right.
make decisions based on real-time data,
Right.
and navigate safely without human intervention.
Okay. I see where you're going with this.
Yep.
So
Is
if they can perfect those things
right.
in a relatively controlled environment like a parking lot,
Yeah.
it's just a matter of scaling it up.
Right.
to handle the complexities of actual roads, traffic,
Right.
and,
Yeah.
pedestrians who aren't expecting a car to suddenly swerve to avoid them.
Right, and that's,
What?
you got it.
Yeah.
And that's where all the data Tesla's collecting from Smart Summon becomes so valuable.
Okay.
Every time someone uses the feature, it's like giving the AI a crash course in real-world driving.
Right.
It's learning to handle different weather conditions,
Okay.
unexpected obstacles,
Right.
even those awkward social interactions you mentioned,
Right.
like navigating around pedestrians who might not be paying attention.
It's like the AI is developing its own version of street smarts,
Right.
but for robots.
Exactly.
Okay.
And the article even highlighted a specific breakthrough in Tesla's AI that's really important here.
Okay, what's that?
Their approach to using cameras as the primary sensors
Okay.
instead of relying heavily on LiDAR, like
Right.
a lot of other self-driving systems.
8 cameras.
Yeah.
I thought LiDAR was
Oh, that's-
supposed to be the magic bullet for self-driving cars.
That's been the conventional wisdom,
Right.
but Tesla's getting on a different approach.
Yeah.
They argue that cameras,
Okay.
especially when combined with their powerful AI, can actually provide a richer,
Okay.
more nuanced understanding of the environment than LiDAR alone.
Interesting. So
Yeah.
it's like they're trying to replicate how humans
Right.
see and process the world around them,
Right.
rather than relying on
A bunch of lasers bouncing off everything.
Precisely. It's a more ambitious approach, for sure,
Okay.
and it has its critics.
Right.
But if Tesla can pull it off,
Right.
it could give them a significant advantage in the race towards full autonomy.
So, smoother parking lot maneuvers,
Right.
a controversial but potentially groundbreaking approach to AI.
Right.
It sounds like Tesla's going all in on this robo-taxi future,
Yeah.
but
You're not wrong.
I have to imagine.
The article actually does a good job of outlining some of the
Right.
speed bumps on the road to full autonomy,
Yeah.
and some of them are pretty significant.
Okay, let's dive into those.
Yeah.
Because I'm
Oh, yeah,
guessing
right.
my car won't stop honking at this squirrel.
Right, exactly. Is probably low on the list of concerns.
Right.
So what's standing in the way of me summoning a Tesla
It's not
to pick me up from work like my own personal robot chauffeur?
squirrels, right?
Like,
They're talking about navigating a complex web of regulations for one.
Okay.
Different cities, states,
Right.
even countries
Yeah.
have their own rules about autonomous driving,
Okay.
and some are more open to it than others.
Right.
It's a bit like trying to assemble a puzzle where the pieces keep changing shape.
So it's not just a tech problem. It's a bureaucracy problem, too.
Exactly.
Never a dull moment.
And even if Tesla manages to wrangle all the legal hurdles,
Okay.
there's the human element to consider public perception.
Right.
Remember those early Smart Summon mishaps we chuckled about?
Yeah.
Those might seem funny in retrospect,
Right.
but they contribute to a sense of skepticism
Right.
about autonomous vehicles.
Makes sense.
Yeah?
I mean, I love the idea of my car parking itself,
Right.
but I also don't want it to be the one taking out the flower beds while doing it.
Right. And that's a hurdle Tesla needs to clear.
Right.
Building trust in the technology is going to be crucial,
Right.
especially if they want people to fully embrace the idea of robo-taxis.
Right.
It's one thing to trust your car to navigate a parking lot.
Right.
It's another level entirely to trust it to navigate rush hour traffic with your kids in the back seat.
Wow. Yeah, that's a whole other.
It's a big leap.
Yeah.
So,
So regulations and public perception are two big ones.
right.
What else?
The tech itself still has some evolving to do,
Okay.
as good as it's getting.
Right.
Even Tesla admits their full self-driving system isn't perfect.
Okay.
Rain,
Yeah.
snow fog.
Yeah.
These things can throw off even the most sophisticated sensors.
Right.
And then there are the unpredictable situations.
Right.
A sudden detour, a flock of pigeons in the road,
Right.
a child chasing a ball into the street.
Those edge cases, the ones that seem so unlikely,
Right.
but could have huge consequences.
And that's where Tesla's focus on end-to-end autonomy comes in.
Right. We touched on that earlier.
Right.
What's end to end again? Remind me.
Basically, it means the car handles everything
Okay.
from start to finish.
Okay.
No human intervention required. You tell it where to go,
Right.
and it's responsible for every aspect of the journey.
Okay.
Navigating,
Yeah.
following traffic laws,
Right.
avoiding obstacles.
Right. So no more taking over the wheel
Right.
because the car got flustered by a roundabout or a tricky merge.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's the ultimate goal of self-driving
Right.
a system so robust and reliable
Right.
that human intervention becomes unnecessary.
Right.
Of course,
Yeah.
achieving that level of autonomy is incredibly complex.
It's like they're trying to teach a machine
Right.
to not just drive a car,
Right.
but to understand the world the way a human driver does.
It's a great way to put it.
Yeah.
And it's why Tesla is pushing so hard
Right.
with data collection and
Right.
AI development. Every mile driven with Smart Summon,
Right.
every obstacle avoided, every smooth lane change.
Yeah.
It's all data that feeds back into their system,
Right.
making it smarter and more capable.
So while I might be using Smart Summon to just avoid a few steps in the grocery store parking lot,
Right.
I'm actually playing a small part in training the robo-taxi fleet of the future.
You got it.
Yeah.
It's unknowingly participating in a massive science experiment, one parking lot maneuver at a time.
That's both kind of cool and a little bit wild when you think about it.
Yeah.
We started with a deep dive into Smart Summon,
Right.
and now we're talking about a future where cars drive themselves,
Right.
regulations are racing to catch up,
Yeah.
and our understanding of what it means to even own a car is being challenged.
And that's the thing about technology, isn't it?
Yeah.
What seems like a small step forward today,
Right.
like a car that can fetch itself from a parking spot,
Right.
can be a stepping stone to something much bigger,
Right.
something that could fundamentally reshape the way we live, work,
Yeah.
and interact with the world around us.
It's exciting.
Yeah.
A little bit daunting.
Yeah.
And definitely something to keep our eyes on.
For sure.
Thanks for breaking it all down.
Absolutely.
Who knew a trip to the grocery store could be so thought-provoking?
Right.
Until next time.